Good afternoon, this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, EOS, Ethereum and Ripple's XRP. We'll be looking at the MACDs, the moving averages and the day support, resistance and pivot levels. It is Saturday the 29th of August. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, it's a mixed start to the day for Bitcoin. Going to need to see Bitcoin avoid a fall through the pivot at 11,472 to support a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 11,640. Support from the broader market is going to be needed for Bitcoin to break out from yesterday's high that was 11,567. So barring a broad-based crypto rally on the day, that first major resistance level should cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, expect resistance at 11,700 to pin Bitcoin back. Second major resistance level sits at 11,736. A fall through the morning low and the pivot level at 11,472 would bring the first major support level at 11,376 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should avoid sub 11,000 levels. Second major support level at 11,208 should limit any downside. Looking at the MACD, we're seeing a narrowing of the bearish histograms and a possible bullish crossover, supportive of the early move northwards through into the afternoon. On the EMAs, we're also seeing the 50 narrow the gap on the 100 and the 200, suggestive of a bullish day. Key through the morning would be to avoid sub 11,500s and the pivot level to support a move back through to 11,600s. That should support a run at 11,700s through the weekend. Moving across to EOS against the US dollar, it's been a mixed start to the morning going into the early afternoon. EOS is going to need to avoid a fall through the pivot at 3.0780 to support a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 3.2181. Going to need to see an extended crypto rally on the day to support a breakout from yesterday's high that was at 3.1778. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to pin EOS back. In the event of a breakout, could see EOS target 3.3s before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 3.3179. A pullback through the morning low and the pivot at 3.0780 would bring the first major support level at 2.9782 into play. Barring an extended crypto sell-off on the day, however, EOS should avoid sub 3s on the day. Looking at the MACDs, we're seeing a narrowing of the bearish histograms and a bullish crossover there, supportive of the recovery going into the afternoon. We're also seeing the 50 EMA narrow the gap on the 100 and 200. So key through the morning would be to avoid the pivot level and sub 310s to then target 3.2s and that first major resistance level. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar. Bullish start to the day really going into the afternoon, recovering from the early morning loss. Going to need to see Ethereum avoid a pullback through the morning low to the pivot level at 391 to support this upward momentum. A move through to 400s would support a run at the first major resistance level at 402.53. In the event of an extended rally, expect the second major resistance level at 409.59 to come into play. In the event of a pullback, a fall through the pivot level would bring the first major support level sitting at 384 into play. Should see Ethereum avoid sub 370s. And we've got the second major support level at 372.61 to cap any downside on the day. Looking at the MACDs, we've got a bullish crossover, supportive of this rebound through the early afternoon. And we've got the bullish crossover of the 50 EMA through the 100 and a narrowing on the 200, suggestive of a bullish day ahead. So a move through to 400 would support a breakout from that first major resistance level to target the second major resistance level at 409.59 and resistance at 410. Moving across to Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, it's been a bearish start to the day for Ripple's XRP. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP avoid a fall through the pivot at 0.2683 to support a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 2766. Going to need to see a broad-based crypto rally for Ripple's XRP to break out from yesterday's high 27,318. So barring an extended rally on the day, that first major resistance level should cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, expect resistance at 0.28 and the second major resistance level at 0.2815 to cap any upside on the day. A fall through the morning low and the pivot at 0.2683 would bring the first major support level at 2635 into play. Barring an extended crypto sell-off, Ripple's XRP should avoid sub 0.26 and the second major support level at 0.2552. Looking at the MACDs, we're seeing a narrowing of the bearish histograms, supportive of this early afternoon recovery. Looking at the EMAs, we're seeing a slight narrowing of the 50 on the 100 and 200 as well. So key through the morning would be for Ripple's XRP to avoid a fall through to sub 0.27s and that pivot level at 0.2683 to target the first major resistance level and then resistance at 0.28.